Fandom Blast is about to start. Let the fandoms unite.
Hey, we are back. Fandom Blast podcast, January 2026. From being away for about 6 years, it feels, but I think we are coming back on a good note, on an exciting note. We're going to be talking about the Masters of the Universe trailer and all things He-Man and retro and all the old guy stuff. Todd and I were, before Jer showed up, we're geeking out with some of our, well, Todd still has all his old stuff. There's a long story why I don't, but I'm really excited to talk about this because I tell you what, guys, I've watched this trailer realistically like 468 times. And I'm not exaggerating. So I'm really looking forward to talking to this. But before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone knows that this is the official podcast for fandomblast.com. If everyone wants to go over and check out some of the stories, you can see we got the story up for the trailer. There's some He-Man cosplay. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on there you can check out. And if you have no life like me, you can check out our merch on the site. Click the site, go to it, and you can look really fat in the shirt like me.
Or you can drink in style from a mug.
Oh, that's right. Hey, hang on. Let's see it.
Get the perfect model, modeling the functionality of that mug.
Now, most people won't fill that to the top with Jack Daniels like Jer here, but you could put water, coffee, your medication, whatever.
You know what I use mugs for? I put chips in it. That way, it's my one helping of chips. And that way, I cut myself off. So I fill up a mug full of chips, and that's my portion.
Nice. Sounds really responsible. It's not like, it's almost as if you're not in North America.
Well, you know, I have a problem with chips. No matter if I'm stuffed, I'll just keep eating chips. So I have to try to limit myself, but that way I have a little sample that I can move on. Plus, I don't drink anything warm, so I don't need a mug. So I use my mugs for chips.
You don't drink anything. So coffee, you're not? Wow.
Never. I've never drank coffee. The smell of it makes me nauseous.
You must be so angry. You must be so angry all the time.
I'm always angry. I'm like Bruce Banner. Like, what's the secret? I'm always angry. That's me.
I always knew there was one of you out there.
Yeah. There's not very many people. I even play hockey and I don't drink beer, and that's another rarity too. So like, I'm an enigma.
Again, Todd's all about the tequila shooters all the time. So so we have to give him a break on that.
He might be making that up, everybody. Might be making that up. But we're here talking about Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe. I am so excited. When I first watched this, because when they first announced it, I was like, Hollywood. They've done so well with Star Wars, Star Trek, Indiana Jones. I can't wait for them to set this on fire like Jer. And I was watching it, and it felt like me running home after school, like from the bus, jumping in front of my TV after school at 4 to watch He-Man. And what gave me good feelings was that pre trailer that they showed, where they were like, in simpler times. And it was kind of funny. Like they showed, I wish I had this pulled up.
Floppy disk, and all this old stuff, and of course the old tube TVs. Yeah, it was good.
And they were hinting at the fact that when they showed the old He-Man, and this was a hero, it was like, are they going to be like nice to this show, like to the whole He-Man thing? And the trailers so far is looking really good. So
I just want to say too, like, I couldn't believe when the trailer dropped, like how many people I'm connected with through Facebook, how many people I have no idea about. Some people like the pop culture stuff, but I couldn't believe how many people just randomly were talking about this trailer and how they're excited about it. And of course, the biggest thing that people are saying is, please please be good, right? As the one thing everybody says, please. Everybody wants this to be good, like everybody. Like I haven't found a hater yet. Everybody is just saying, please be good.
Well, you sent that. That was a message that you sent to me.
Right away, I said to you,
with the little prayer hands.
The little prayer hands going, please be good, because I want this to be good. Like, there should be no excuse for not being able to tell a good, effective story because everybody else is doing it. So they just, brought on the proper team and tried hard to tell a good character development, good story that doesn't just, take advantage of nostalgia. They actually do a good job. That'd be awesome.
I got to be honest. When I first heard about it, I thought, how did they get Dolph Lundgren to come out of retirement? But
he could be Andor. He's not like Andor. That's his dad. That's his dad's name, right?
King. Yeah, King
Randor.
Randor. Yeah. Hey, Dolph is still like. I would not want to be in a fight with him still to this day. He's
no, not at all.
He would
still
outbox
quite a
you,
specimen.
And he's very smart too. He's a chemical engineer. He's a genius, apparently.
Yeah, well, super smart.
He had a scholarship. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. He had a scholarship.
No, he had a scholarship at NYU for it.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
He's brilliant, apparently.
I actually when before, I don't know, the other day I hadn't seen anything on it, the new one, and I thought, when I was thinking about characters, I was actually like, you know what? It might be all right if he was Man of Arms. Like, because Man of Arms is a little bit older. Like I was like, that would be a neat tie-in from the old movie. Depending on what Man at Arms' role is in the movie, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I hadn't seen a trailer. I hadn't really done any of that. And I was just like, who would they get to play what? And I was just kind of trying to think of my own characters, like the own people that I would get excited about. But it's all right that he didn't get chosen either.
But I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he has a cameo in the movie. I wouldn't be surprised, because most of the time they do these retro type movies. They do try to work in a cameo of some sort.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they try.
That that would be so fantastic. Just
wouldn't it?
That'd be very cool.
Some people say, oh, he can't act, this, that. I've liked him in literally almost every single movie I've ever seen the guy in. So
I thought he got a bad rap for the original Punisher movie he did. I thought it was really good.
Good entertainment.
Yeah.
I remember there was an interview I saw recently with Stallone, and they asked him about Dolph, and he was like, yeah, he's a freak of nature. It's not fair. He's super intelligent, those chiseled features. He's in great shape. He's a kickboxing champion. He's like, he got everything, and it's not fair. I thought it was really funny. He talked really, really well of him, and he seems to be like a super nice guy in real life. But let's get to this. I really want to watch this for the 487th time. Is that what I?
This is my number 5. So.
I think it might be numbers 5 or 6 for me too. It's definitely not 6, 7.
Oh,
okay. Well, everyone say goodnight to Jeremy.
Goodbye, Jeremy.
I just got muted off the channel. I'm just trying to get a little bit of a younger audience, Steve.
There you go. That's going to work.
For those of you that are angry at Jeremy, send hate mail to contact@fandomblast.com. Attention, die Jeremy. So.
Yes.
But anyways, I have to say, before we do this, Todd's got the best name. You picked the best name.
Well, again,
Todd.
I just have to say, before we get into this, can I just say something? Like, to me, Steve, like, of all the characters, when it comes to toys, animated, whatever, to me, there's no greater villain. Like, Darth Vader's up there. Like, yes, Darth Vader's up for cinematic, but to me, the epitome of that just screams evil when just by looking at the first time. I remember 1986. I went to a toy store before the cartoon, before commercials, and I came across this. And I was like, holy crap, look at this thing. What is this, Skeletor? What a great name. So this is the original 1986 Skeletor I bought with my own money I made from Reffing Sports. And I bought it in Sault Ste. Marie after a soccer game. I saw it in the store and I picked it up. And this is my favorite action figure I have. This is what to me that all action figures are measured to is this character right here. So to me, the fact that a possibility of seeing Skeletor come to life, like, the 1987 movie, I thought they did a great job with the technology and makeup, to make it look decent. But I'm so looking forward to the new film because it looks like, it's going to look very similar to this kind of look. So yes, that's my take. Skeletor is my favorite villain of all time. So therefore, I'm pretty pumped about this movie. And when we see the trailer here, we'll see how much it looks like this.
Now, it's so funny when you're holding that up in my head, all I can hear is this.
It's good. And that animated voice, that animated show, like, tell me they could not have cast that voice better. Like, whenever you see the face, like, do you remember there used to be there was a commercial? I can't remember what the commercial was for, but there was He-Man, Skeletor, and they were like in the bar. Do you remember seeing that commercial? But they use the original voice of that, like, for it. It's amazing. But anyway, we should look at that maybe later on. But yeah.
Hang on a second, let me. Okay.
Talking tigers, spaceships, and magic swords that could make a man. That stuff is real. Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe. So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you. There's...
This obsession with nerd stuff and sword things, it's not a good look for human resources.
Whatever.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword is gonna show me the way home.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry. The sword's mine.
Hang on, it's about to get weird.
What am I supposed to do? Take the
Look
sword
at that.
and protect them.
Chop.
I have the power!
All right. Wow.
Visually, it looks like it
All right, so
it looks fantastic, right? Like, the visually is it just looks so good.
Man, it's just it's wild. I think it's kind of a big combination of sci-fi, well, just like the cartoon, sci-fi, fantasy. And the one thing I am excited about is they did mention the talking cat. So people were wondering, are they going to have Cringer talking, or is he just going to be like being whatever? This is like the cartoon come to life in kind of, except for, we'll get into this, but like Todd and I know you and I have talked about the whole, not thrilled about the whole Earth part of it, but what do you guys think? What is the thing that stands out to you guys right away?
So I love that when I watched just now again for like the 5th or 6th time, it took me back to my childhood.
Mhm.
Right? I immediately went back to like, these are the toys that in the cartoon, and like it just gave me that feeling of being a kid. And I also immediately connected. So I liked the back to Earth, the back and forth of Earth. He was sent to Earth because it gave me that. You remember the start of Princess Bride? I think it's Princess Bride, where the grandfather's telling the story to the kid that's sick.
Yep.
Right.
It gave me that feeling, that
Right.
that connection into the movie, and I've always kind of liked that. We're fairy tale here, you know, like this is a tale. This is fantasy, you know.
But Jerry, that's a really good point. You know, I never really looked at it before. I just remember the 80s film. The biggest knock about the 80s film is that kind of took place on Earth, right? I just remember it was weird. You know, they're battling. You know, not that it was terrible, because I did really enjoy the 80s movie. I was upset it wasn't a lot of the original villains in it, like they made up characters. But one thing I was just, you know, I saw the Earth thing. I was like, oh, and they're in Earth again. Crap. You know, the one thing that people complain about the most about the other one. But again, at least I like the fact that they're using some humor. Like even like Steve, like you one time you said the missed opportunity. It says he's at the desk, his work desk, and it says him, he, him, right there. And you said missed opportunity said he and man, which would have been really, really funny, right? But again, it's they did that on purpose, right? Obviously to get a joke across, which is again, it looks like they're actually going to work in some humor, which has helped Marvel be really successful, having the action, the good story, and humor at the same time, right? So again, you try to get a balance of, like, you know, we talked about it before, like, you know, you want to try and hit all the demographics as much as you possibly can, the younger audience and like the older audience at the same time.
What, and like going back to like the cartoons from when we were kids, there was humor throughout all those, right? Like so many of the characters on the evil side were bumbling, you know,
idiots,
fools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Skeletor's always cracking those, you know, putting them down in some derogatory way, right? Which are always kind of amusing, right? Like, and of course, you had your Orko as your comic relief, and you had Cringer as your comic relief. But they again, the villains did add a lot of comedy to it too, because, like you said, like I find it a little disappointing because to me, I like bad guys to be really bad, right? Not bumbling idiots. But I get the sense from this movie they're not going to be bumbling idiots because you know. Spycro looks pretty cool. Like Spycro got a big, you know, for not being one of the main villains, he got a big, huge shot, right? Which is kind of interesting. Like I want to see a big shot of Trapjaw, or I know Trapjaw's and I know Triclops is in it. I know the one I don't know, the character I don't know has devil horns. You see him? Like
That's
he looks like
Ram Man, isn't it?
Ram Man. Is it? It was Goat. No, it wasn't. He made up or something. Goat Man or something.
Goat Man. Yeah, Goat Man is right, because I had to look him up because I didn't remember him. Like when I saw him,
yeah,
I was looking up the cast and then the things, and it's
is it original character from the
Bjornsson?
Yeah, line?
No, it is in the toy line. I don't think I'd ever come across it, but he looks more like a demon than a goat.
Yeah, he looks much more like a demon.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, so it did resonate with me because I collected Master of the Universe until they started getting to the rock dudes, or these rock dudes, and the snake. They brought in this whole snake line people. I stopped then. I was probably 16, 15 or so when I stopped. So and that's when they started falling off that time at that point in time too.
And I wonder if he came in there because, like you say, I don't remember, but it's by it might be the Mountain. Bjornsson.
It is the Mountain.
He's gonna be huge.
I would have loved for him to have played Beastman, not this Goat Man. Beastman would have been perfect for him. But okay,
at least Beastman looks good in the trailer.
Yeah, going back on this. Okay, so as an old idiot like myself, I thought I was pretty funny doing this. I just thought, I know it was severely on the nose, but I'm taking such heat from this on social media, especially on Threads. There's like 6,000 views and like hundreds of comments, and they're all like, idiot, it's over your head, it's a joke, the him is the joke, blah blah blah, on and on. So only a couple times I replied, I'm like, yeah, I know, you know, it's part of the joke, but I just thought I kind of liked the more on the nose. I just thought it was kind of funny. People like, dumb idiot, you don't get the joke. It's crazy. So, okay, officially, everyone listening.
Okay, I'll stop
none of
posting.
I know that the he him is the joke, which I find is really funny for Hollywood to be making fun of that. And I just thought it was really on the nose and funny to say He-Man, just like, you know, what I did with my name here. But wow, people were flipping out. But I got a lot of views for being an idiot. So
well, you weren't being an idiot. I saw the point of what you're trying to make, but again, everybody got the joke. You got the joke. Everybody got the joke. It's a great. I think it's a great little shot, and very, very they've thought in. It was really well done.
I thought it was like
yeah. Now
great,
there's going to be
great for
a lot of characters in these. Sorry,
great for a trailer too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Great for a trailer.
What was that? 1 second, and we've talked about it for 5 minutes.
Right. Well,
I know.
And that's the whole thing too, especially when the visual effects. The visual effects artists, when they create something gets in the trailer, they're super stoked. That's the trailer shot, right? Like, so everybody's trying to get that one shot that's in the trailer, right? Sort of thing. So, you know, the person who came up with that concept, they're going, "Oh, it made the trailer," right? Sort of thing. So it's a good shot.
It kind, yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Someone made a really good point online about that scene where Adam is at the desk in HR where he's working with the sign and he's looking all awkward and weird. And they said, this is what he said, there's actually a way to play this similar to the Matrix and Fight Club about office cubicle destroying spirit. You know, you have this masculine man being, you know, held back by kind of all the rules and this and that in an HR office. In an HR office. So it's kind of like in the Matrix, right? Like Neo was just like sitting in his cubicle, depressed, you know, lost. And this is what it is. Like he's on this strange world. And I think it's funny. And I take offense to the fact that she's like, the HR manager is like, you know, all this nerd stuff and swords, you know, is not really good. I'm like, let's fight against that. But I just thought it was a really good take on the fact that this is representing, you know, where he's so different, right? Because he is from, I mean, who knows if he knows where he's from and all this kind of stuff, or his memory's kind of lost. Did you not see that? Because he's drawing this sword that he sees. Does he know he's from this other world?
It's hard to tell from the trailer, but it makes it sound like you know, this is my sword. Maybe he has visions. Who knows? Maybe the sorcerer's trying to contact him, sort of thing. Who knows, right? So I know that Deadpool's. I just found out yesterday that Deadpool's girlfriend is playing the sorceress. The actress.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because I saw her in another. She's been interviewed in another movie, and then the reporter goes, "Oh, just want you guys know that. Do you guys know that you're working with the sorceress from Castle Grayskull?" And they're what? They're like one of the actors from Spider-Man movies. You know, the guy who plays Ned Lees. And I don't know who the other actor was, but they both were freaking out because they had no idea that she's in the Master Universe movie, and they were super stoked about the movie coming out. And she was talking about how Castle Grayskull looks amazing and stuff like that. So,
this picture here, I love this so much. And the Castle Grayskull, like a toy. If you go to the mini comics, this is exactly what it looks like in the mini comics.
So good,
right? And like that's the fact that it looks like the toy, right? It's done at a point where it's also believable too, right? So, which is kind of cool because, you know, other times some movies will just change everything, right? Which is like, like look at that, like that's not bad.
It's beautiful. I have that as my wallpaper. I have it everywhere. I just love that whole scene, and you know, they're going to have a lot of characters in this, which I kind of love. Here's like one of the first images that we got from that teaser. And it looks pretty good.
I'm floored with the number of like very strong cast members.
Yeah. Because
Right,
Kristen
like-
Wiig is what's his name? Robotnik, whatever his name is. I don't know Robotnik.
Roboto or something.
Roboto?
right?
Yeah, Roboto. So yes, Kristen Wiig plays him. Which I didn't know that either
Yes.
until I saw that.
You know who I'm really excited about is Alison Brie playing Evelyn.
Yes, and I saw it too. I did when I saw the trailer. It doesn't even look like her.
No,
Oh, there now it does. Yes,
Yeah,
now
that
it
does there.
Totally
but-
does look like her. Like she's great.
I fell in love with her in Community. I thought
Community.
she was the best character in Community, and she made me laugh. And she also was a little bit psycho, which I think it can transfer here.
She's the abstract
And the
bandit, too.
costume
She's
looks
the
really
abstract
good. The
bandit.
costumes look good.
Yeah,
The Community is to me. Community is the best comedy series of all time. It's to me, it's the best. But Alison
love
Brie,
it.
the whole entire cast holds a special place in my heart. But
yeah.
I think Alison Brie in that role is fantastic because, like you said, she can play psycho, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, she has enough evil, but she can still pull that silly in that we were talking about, right? Like
exactly,
she'll
yeah.
have that that balance, I think.
agreed. I'm looking forward.
yeah.
Like, I just found that out the other day that she was evil in too. Because I was looking at the casting, right, and like, whoa, like I couldn't tell, but definitely in that freeze frame, we can definitely tell it's her.
I do
yeah.
wonder a little bit with Jared Leto playing Skeletor. I don't think he's going to be a silly Skeletor. I think he's going to be a badass dude.
Oh, I hope he is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want a silly Skeletor. I want all the villains to be super bad. I want them to be bad. Because again, the worse the villains are, the better the hero is. The better the triumph is, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping Skeletor is just a nasty person.
Well, if we're looking at the cartoon's a G, and this is a PG-13 or something, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
so
he's not
they can bring it up, but it's not going to be
definitely. It
it's
shouldn't
not gonna
be
carnage.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Even
that.
Kevin Smith didn't make the villains weren't bubbling idiots, right? When Kevin Smith did Revelations, right? So I'm hoping they're going to make it to the point where you can still relate to the characters from your childhood, but at the same time, enjoy the fact that he's a bad dude.
Yeah, I'd like some comedy in there, but it doesn't necessarily need to be silly.
Agree.
Yeah, we don't need. Again, I'll say it. It's like beating a dead horse. We don't need more Guardians of the Galaxy. So, but the humor seemed really good. Like the actor playing He-Man, Nicholas. Oh God. Anyways,
Galtzine?
Yeah.
Galtazine?
So he seemed to be really, how he was trying to pull the sword out of.
That's like Conan or something.
Now here's what this is. This is a concept picture.
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be He-Man, but it does look like Conan. The one on the
These
right
were
is
some of the
definitely
original
Conan.
pictures, right? This is like some of the concept art that they were coming up with for the He-Man line, and then later on, this character became Vikor.
Oh,
Vikor. And there's also Torak, right? It's on the wall there. You see the picture of Torak, but it's kind of like both. But it's Vikor. If you go to like the Grayskull wiki or something like that, it was in Revelations. They had the character in Revelations.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they're one of the gods up in the place, right? I think. The past He-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love this. Did you notice that Adam's wearing that pink shirt?
Yes, he is.
Because that's what Adam wore in the cartoon, the pink shirt. There's so many little tiny Easter eggs. Evelyn, that costume looks so good. It looks like a movie version of the cartoon. It's
exactly.
So perfect.
That's why it's filming. Like, even Skeletor, Skeletor looks very close to the action figure, right? Like it's not exactly the same, but it's not far off.
Right.
I don't know if
and
you can see
there's
there.
Hang on a second.
Any resemblance?
It looks very close, very close to Conan.
Well, definitely, there was, it was inspired by, right?
Yeah,
it has.
Of course, it was. Like, let's face it, it's swords and shields, and it's how can it not be inspired a little bit? And beefy, a beefcake, right? It has to be inspired a little bit from Conan. So
some of the early, I didn't see a lot of this. I don't think it's a big deal, but there was a very small amount of people that weren't thrilled about Idris Elba as Duncan or Man at Arms. Now, I tell you what, I have been a fan, and I think I posted this on social media, on our Instagram and whatnot, but I have been a fan of Idris Elba forever. I loved him in Pacific Rim. He did this Charlie Hunnam, when he's giving him crap and he's telling him, "Do you understand me?" And Charlie's like, "Meh." And then he does one of these and makes him say it instead of just nodding. I remember getting in trouble with my dad and him doing that. I just always thought that he was a powerful presence. He's charismatic. Luther, he was awesome. Other stuff. And I was always saying, when they were trying to get a new, different kind of version of James Bond, I would think, okay, why don't we just do Idris Elba? He's British. For me, that's like, for me, the requirements for that, he has to be British, not someone who could do a good accent, and he has to be a dude. And he takes two of those, right? But yeah, I think he's too old now for that, blah, 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 right? But I was thrilled when I saw him. I thought, he's powerful, he's going to be believable, and I didn't see a big deal. But I really haven't seen a lot of people. I see people being upset more about this than Idris Elba. So I really hope that doesn't get out like it's a huge deal. But I was thrilled to see him as Man at Arms, which is
I was surprised.
Character.
I was surprised because I know he complained lots when he was in Thor because of the costume. He complained lots about the costume. So I just assumed that he wouldn't want to. When I heard he's doing Man at Arms, well, he's got to wear a costume again. So, but
look at this costume. Now I understand. Like Todd, as a filmmaker, you probably know this too, right? Like, if you noticed the little front cup thing, should be a lot bigger, right? Because they would use that as a shield, and the mask comes down. But you also, it's like when you see people fighting with a sword or fighting, and their hands are down. It's because you've got to see their face on film, right? If they're fighting for real, they're going to be like this. They're going to be fighting. The sword's going to be in their face. So you're not going to be doing these things correctly. So I'm sure they said, look, we can't have this all up in his face. So it's, I just find the armor looks really tiny on his body.
It looks very, very tiny on his body. But that's the thing about like all the Spider-Man movies, that at the end you always have to show Spider-Man's face. And like, that's one thing I was really happy with Deadpool, is Deadpool never showed, like, his mask didn't really ever come off, right? His face is on all the time for all the conclusion, where I find like all the other movies, they have to pull the mask off so you can see Parker's reactions. And, I just wish they wouldn't have to do that. But yes, you're right. They always do that so you can see the face. But that's nice with Skeletor. Yes. Hopefully doesn't turn to a human face, because I want to see this. I'll flip if it becomes the human face. But I wonder how deep of a backstory they're going to do on Skeletor too.
So here's the thing. From the trailer, this is what I'm getting. So Skeletor attacks, or some kind of war, something happens bad to the kingdom, so they have to get Adam out of there. Mom chooses her home world and this and that. I think Randor is killed by Skeletor, so the mom sends him out to Earth, because you don't see anyone playing Randor in the entire trailer.
Most people won't know who that is.
I would have loved it. This is my thing. I would have loved to have seen, Randor and his mother alive, but I would have also liked to have seen, like, the father, maybe he lived to be that kind of, because someone had said, one of my friends said to me, Man at Arms was like a father to Adam, so it doesn't, it's fine. But I said, no, Man at Arms was a mentor, not a father. There's a big difference between the two. I would have loved to have seen that. And then he could have said, look, I'm going to send you to the planet your mother comes from. In case people don't know, Adam's mother was an astronaut on Earth, and she got sucked into kind of like a wormhole and was trapped there. And then she met Randor, blah, blah, blah. Right. So, so he's half human, or he's from Earth. But
not to destroy everything, but there is a character.
Randor.
King Randor. Yeah.
There is,
Yeah.
but he
could be in it for 30 seconds. You never know.
He's going to be. Yeah, I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be killed.
Well, again, I don't know either because, maybe you don't know, but Skeletor and Randor are like half brothers, right? So,
Yes.
killing him off right away, maybe that's going to ruin the storyline too. If you're going to bring that up, right, sort of thing, right? Because
could just as easily be captured by Skeletor.
Right, exactly.
Could
be. We don't know anything. But again, you're right. Maybe there's war breaks because he clearly in the trailer you see Idris Elba with long shaggy hair and he's wearing rough clothes. So obviously maybe he's in hiding, right? Because maybe Skeletor, maybe it was a war. Maybe that's why they sent Adam away. And then again, obviously it looks like they bring him back to help try to bring back peace, thing to take over Skeletor.
And maybe that's
my guess. Is what is from the trailer. You're trying to piece things together, but again, I like the fact that it's up to debate because the trailer hasn't told us anything, right? So, which is good.
So the other noticeable absence from the trailer.
But are we really missing it? Are we really missing it, Steve? We talked about this week. Are we missing that though? I don't know.
So the handsome bearded guy on the left, that's Randor on the cartoon.
Who didn't do anything in the cartoon. Didn't do anything.
You can do Orko more serious. Obviously, you're not going to have him being the goofball, like Cringer isn't going to be like, doing all that kind of stuff from the cartoon. But you can maybe have this character because he wasn't as goofy in the 2002 version. He definitely wasn't goofy in the Kevin Smith version.
He had a great arc in Revelations. They actually made him a really strong character in Revelations, I thought. That's my Orko.
Right. And James I was talking to him today, and he said, what if Orko was an assistant kind of thing to the sorceress? Like that would be a better role for him because he's not in everyone's face, but he's kind of there for the nostalgia fans. But I think I said to you when I was a kid, Orko was funny. When I became a teen, I hated him. He was a dork. Now that I'm an old man, I'm like nostalgia. I could see what he was there for. I'd like to see him, maybe not like the original cartoon, but somewhere.
Worst action figure of the whole entire line. Even worse than Ram Man. Even worse than Ram Man.
Yes.
Even worse than Ram Man.
The new one is even worse.
You have Ram Man.
The new one looks better than the other one. I've never seen the new one. That's not too bad. The original one's terrible. He has spring legs.
That's my yeah. It's not bad.
Better. That's way better than the original one. The original one's terrible. But Orko's the worst. He was the worst. I got it.
Yeah.
I have him, but I got him just because it helped complete the collection, right? I hated them.
But you have to. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember you put a little zip thing into him, and you turn him a little, and then he spins around.
Oh yeah.
I always wanted him to run behind the rock and grab He-Man's sword, or run behind the rock and grab He-Man's bow and arrow. Go, hey Newt.
Oh my god!
Just as annoying as that centaur.
Same character.
Same character. Which is annoying.
That centaur.
And
Let's look. This is the other thing. I saw someone had made this today, looking at all the characters. I bet you there's even more. So check it out. So Ram Man, Mechanic, Man at Arms. Now
Zodak?
Really? That was a question mark because he had that weird helmet and then the sleeveless kind of chest plate. This is what I think it is. I think he's Zodak, and I tell you, on more than one level, I'm so happy to see Fisto because I always liked the character. He seemed kind of like a swashbuckler on the cartoon, but so many people I see online, younger people, are so confused at the name.
Right, of course.
And that's all. So, it's going to be like a holy toy line. Let me tell you, it's what do you guys think? This is going to be wild.
Well, if this movie's good, there can be a major resurgence in the toy line. It's the right amount of time.
The thing about Master of the Universe stuff, it does not come out in Canada very well. Like there's very little stores that carry Master
Really?
Universe. There's a reason for it. I don't know what the reason is, but there's a reason why very little Master Universe stuff in stores. Like you go to GameStop, they haven't had Master Universe for like maybe 3 years come in. Except for, I apologize, they have brought back the Master Universe and Transformers line, which is just awful. But it's hard to, a lot of Master Universe stuff does not come into toy stores in Canada.
So maybe there's more out there in the world, but
there is. If you go to toy store, the toy fairs and stuff like that, massive. That's where I get most of my collections from, or I have to get it online, right? Like I was telling Steve beforehand, any new Skeletor that comes out that I don't have, I'll buy 2 because Skeletor is my favorite. So I have a whole wall there, and I just get, anytime there's a new Skeletor, I'll buy it. And they're hard to find.
This one was so great about Todd and I growing up playing, say, Star Wars, playing He-Man, whatever. I always loved the good guys. Todd always. So there was never an argument over, who's playing. Todd was like, "Yep, I'm the bad guy," and I never realized it when I was a kid that that's really what it was. You just kind of go do your thing, and I was like, "Yeah, you did like the bad guys all the time," and it was so simple.
That's what makes comic book characters great. Is you have to have good villains. Like, why is Batman so popular? Because his villains are awesome. Why is Spider-Man so popular? His villains are awesome, right? Like,
yeah.
Seriously, the only reason I have ever read a DC comic.
Yeah,
I don't like their heroes.
I don't like their heroes either. Like Superman, Wonder Woman, I just can't stand them. They're so one-dimensional. But Batman is a very complex. Again, and even his character is complex. He hasn't changed at all, really.
No, Batman would be my exception to the rule on the hero line, but I think it's very, very closely tied to my favorite villain is the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 would be the Riddler. Like, and there's more. Like, I like pretty much every one of them. The Penguin, when they're done right, they're so good. Like the Penguin in the new Gotham series, love them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's not so new, I understand, but
yeah, I really enjoy that too. Because again, I like how they always take a little different attempts at the characters, right? But even like the latest Batman movie, right? Different take on the Riddler, really good. A different take on like a lot of these different characters, and they're just quite good. And the Penguin with Colin Farrell, like great job, right?
Yeah,
I saw an interview with Colin Farrell and Danny DeVito. They're comparing their two characters and how they're very, very similar, just they're different, right? But the whole thing is all them but wanting to be somebody, right? And it was just kind of neat how their characters were still the same, even though they were so different.
So true story. I had to get a police check because I coach baseball. And I had to go down to the station as part of that check because it was like vulnerable sector check, and had to get fingerprinted so they could check me all out and stuff. Well, the only day I could get down there was actually Halloween, and I was taking my kids down. So I went into the police station here as the Riddler, and the police officer that came to take care of my needs thought it was awesome. She asked if she could put me in handcuffs. She took pictures of me. She said, I'm so going to have fun with this upstairs.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was great.
And so that's and again, going back to Master Universe, like that's why I'm hoping for Skeletor, like Skeletor, Beastman, like fantastic. Trapjaw, like hopefully I hope Trapjaw has a bigger role than just.
I love Trapjaw. He's my
amazing.
Favorite villain.
What was the name?
Besides Skeletor? Oh.
Was it Mossman? Was the figure? He was green.
Yeah.
And he stunk.
He smelled like pine salt. He smelled like pine salt.
He smelled so awful.
Yeah. He came out.
He was my favorite one.
Like his Mossman and Skunkor came at the same time. Stinkor. They came at the same time.
Yeah. Stinkor wasn't stinky. The figure actually had a smell to it that was rather pungent.
Even Skeletor is like Whiplash, right? Like Whiplash. Like I got these little figures. Like Whiplash is awesome. Like I love Whiplash. Clawful, right? Clawful, amazing villain, right? Like little Clawful right here. Yeah, these are the dollar store now for like $5. They're awesome.
It's such a Clawful name.
Isn't it?
Wah,
Wah. You know, Beastman's fantastic. Spikecore's awesome. Webster, like they're all really cool looking characters, right? So, you know, Evil Lynn, like even the names are just very clever. I don't know, Beastman's not clever, but the character looks amazing, right? So, you know, to me, the biggest ripoff as a kid I saw was Fakor. Like, it's paint the He-Man blue, but then when I actually finally got him, like, he was one of my favorite characters. Like, I love Fakor. Like, you know, anytime I see a Fakor, I grab Fakor all the time too, right? Because I just think it's the cheapest thing in the world. And then, of course, now later on they came out with, after that they got even smarter. They came out with anti-He-Man. So this anti-He-Man is like this anti-He-Man. Oh, so he's just He-Man. He's just all like negative.
Just
color.
Painted him a different color.
Yeah, and again, I got suckered into that too. I had to buy that too, just because it's so easy. But yeah,
I was talking to Todd before we went live, and we were talking about the toys, and like my Star Wars stuff, I lost all the weapons. You know, the X-wings I broke, blah blah blah. But I had a ton of He-Man because it went from when I was a kid, everything was Star Wars. Then Star Wars ended. Then He-Man came. Everything was He-Man. Then when He-Man stopped, then everything was Dungeons and Dragons. So that was kind of the progression. But the He-Man, I had all the weapons. Everything was in mint shape. I had Castle Grayskull. I had Attack Track. I had so much stuff. And at one time, I was 13 or 14. I got it in my head that I was too old to even own these things. And a friend of ours, like that Todd and I knew, his family was having a yard sale. So I brought everything over to this yard sale, and I sold out everything to one guy, and I made more money than our friend's whole family at that yard sale. They were laughing about that. They're like, wow, you really cleaned up. And I just thought, this is what I had to do. I guess I'm an adult now. And
I think I just,
I was telling Todd, I know, I was saying to Todd, like it was my unmedicated ADD brain telling me something, and it was mint. Like I took such care of those, and it wasn't like my parents said, look, you messed up all your Star Wars stuff. Stop it. It's just, maybe it's because they were bigger or I was older, but they were mint, and I love those things. And I'm broken inside.
Like I love Star Wars action figures. I loved them, but to me, the greatest, like better than G.I. Joe. I know Transformers are amazing. They came out, but to me, nothing compares to Master Universe. Like to me, that was my favorite. Like it was my favorite by far. It wasn't even close. Like that's the one I play with the most. The one that as an adult I admire the most. I just love when I see Skeletor, when I see He-Man. Like I don't know why. It just gets me every time. It's the one that appeals to me the most. I don't know why. It was lightning in a bottle when they came with that whole entire concept and they released. It was just, it was just weird because it has everything in it, right? It's got blasters. The vehicles make no sense. The vehicles make no sense at all. but
that was kind of one of the things that I liked about He-Man is you pretty much just ignored the vehicles when they were part of the toys. You just like, other than the Battle Cats, right? Like there was the Panther for Skeletor and Battle Cat for He-Man, but other than that, you didn't really. I can remember I was a kid having all the He-Man figures to play with. I didn't respect them the way you maybe did, Todd, and to collect them, but I certainly had all of them and played with them, and like they were kind of my first action figure that I had. And then I moved on from them, and my collection was really G.I. Joe. Until the tragic firebombing accident of the 80s, where we set up a big diorama in the sand pit and used a whole bunch of cherry bombs and maybe some gasoline, and I didn't have any more G.I. Joe figures.
Wow, bro! Wow.
There's no way I could ever do that to them. I don't know why.
It was the best about 40 seconds of fun I've ever had.
I guess so.
I wish I had everything that went up in flames in that pit.
Wow.
I'm very fortunate. I was really, really protective of my toys. I didn't like other people. I had to trust the people. Like Steve could touch them, sort of thing. But other friends, they bent the like for their Star Wars figures, they're bending the legs. Whoa, not for you. Like Star Wars figures move like this.
But your
I just like
parents
that
were
with my
so
comic
smart
books.
to let you take them outside. They were so brilliant. They did like you weren't bringing your Star Wars stuff out to a sand pit and dumping it.
I get dirty if you do that.
Yeah, it's wild.
My parents never told me not to do it. I just said, why would I do that? They would get dirty. Like I was so like if there's a little mark on it, I would get like I was very, very particular. If I lost a weapon, like I have all the Star Wars figures, like from the 3 movies, Master Universe. I have all the figures for that. I don't have all the GI Joe, but I have like probably 20 GI Joes. All of I have maybe like 12 Transformers. I've only lost everything. I've only lost 3 weapons. And that's why I brought him over to John Sabokin. I brought him over to it was John John, what's his name? John. Oh, I brought him to his house and he's opened my Star Wars Darth Vader head and the weapons fell on the grass. That? Yeah, and I freaked out. Oh man, he's like it's just like ADD kid, and weapons flew everywhere, and I was so upset. And I lost a Bespin pilot gun, a nut suitcase, and there's one other one I think I'm missing. Well, maybe it's only 2. Right. That's only 2 I'm missing.
So one thing I just wanted to touch on, like besides the trailer, actually we were talking about this before we went live, but so the cartoon series, right? So we had the original, the OG.
Yeah.
So He-Man, the original, but what we were talking about before we went live is, and I'm still watching it, and it is my absolute favorite, is 2002 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe that you could see on Prime. It's either Prime or Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's Prime.
I can't be Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix, but
it's Prime.
I'll look for that tonight.
It is fantastic. It is so good. So great art. They almost have that kind of anime style to it. Amazing story. And like I was saying to Todd earlier, I appreciate the fact that they didn't make it like adult themed or like, it wasn't as kiddie or immature as the original, but it was still kind of like they were still doing like the lessons and stuff like that. The characters were awesome. This animation made me love Cyclone. You remember that character?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got Skeletor from that toy line right here too. So like I got Skeletor, and I picked up Beast Man not too long ago at a toy fair from that toy line.
The toy line is fantastic. When I saw the toys first, and I bought Skeletor and He-Man, I smashed them out of the package. And they're somewhere. I was just talking to Todd. They're like in this storage area somewhere that I got to go and find. But I recommend anyone go to, I think it's Prime, and it's 2002, the He-Man series. It is
just 2 seasons, right?
So good. Only 2 seasons, and they just stopped it.
And I think they do. And I believe in that series they did a Skeletor origin. Did they? Are you there yet? I'm pretty sure that's where.
Yes.
They brought in the whole Skeletor origin about where he's from and how he's related to. What's his name?
His name is. He's got a name.
That's Randor, but it's Keldor or something like that. Keldor or something like that. Yeah. Because there's actually an action figure where it's Keldor and he's got a number 2 that protects him, who ends up being Trapjaw. There's a toy line actually you can get him where it shows Trapjaw as a human being before he became half robot.
Right, and they do Prince Adam, excellent. Like back in the original, it was just the same guy with a different shirt on. Here, he's like smaller, younger,
much better. Yeah.
And then he becomes He-Man and stuff. I didn't like the sword that he had. It was this kind of weird looking sword, but it was it's so well done. And I'm gonna go watch that later, I think. But
actually, I'm gonna start watching tonight now that you mentioned it. So actually, I just want to bring up the fact that how good the sword looks. Like, because sometimes movies, like we talked about earlier, the 80s version of the He-Man sword didn't look anything like the Power Sword. This looks like the toy line. Like we talked about earlier about how Castle Grayskull looks good, right? Even the shot of Snake Mountain looks really good, right? Like they're taking inspiration from the original comic books and from the original TV series, which I think is fantastic.
Let me find it.
So,
look at that.
It all looks so good.
So how good is this trailer?
So, like, yeah, it all looks so good. 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 So, like, yeah, it all looks so
Okay, so we watched a trailer tonight. Obviously, we've watched it before. We've seen it a few times. Out of the trailer, you're back into the toy line that you loved as a kid, right? Steve's jumped back into watching the cartoon. I'm gonna go watch it tonight because I actually haven't seen that one. I thought I had seen everything, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go start watching it. I'll probably binge watch 2 seasons. I'll have it done by the end of the weekend.
Nerd.
Yeah.
You dork.
I stay up really late and need things to do. But out of how long's the trailer? 5 minutes?
3 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, 2:28, something like that.
So to me, they've got Nerd World.
They do. They got them right. They got them right by the gonads, really, because like I said, how I mentioned at the start of the show, like how many people I see on social media talking about this trailer. The people who I didn't know had any kind of geekness in them at all, but everybody seems pretty stoked, and everybody just wants it. And how many people just want it to be good?
And I can't tell you the last time I've wanted to go to the theater to watch a show. Right? I've got a 60-inch TV in my basement. I am happy to go snuggle up with my own bag of chips, in my own blankie, and watch my TV in my own comfort.
Gross.
And if the movie sucks, then I fall asleep and nobody gets mad at me.
Right.
Yeah. I now have to figure out on June 5th how I'm gonna go see this movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the theater.
Yes.
Which is good.
$50 in popcorn. Let's go.
Again, for these big blockbuster, comic book or fantasy type movies, people have been getting a little bit down on them, right, sort of thing. But so far, everybody seems excited about this, right? It's like you say, it's bringing back something. Okay, we got to go see this movie. Good again. And MGM needs a big win, right? Like what's their big franchise? They don't have any really. James Bond, right? But other than that, they don't have a big franchise, so it's a great opportunity for them to hopefully tap into something.
To me, they've really gone with the best of the old is new again here, right? They've waited a significant period of time so that the last generation is kind of, there's still enough of us dads around to say, oh, I used to play with these as a kids. We got to go see this together.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a new story. And they brought in guys like Jared Leto, who a lot of the younger generation will like and can identify with, or some of the other actors there, the Mountain, because they'll be like, oh, that's the Mountain, I want to go see. This is really well thought out.
Yeah,
they've really or Idris Elba is another one. They'll recognize him from Thor, or a bunch of the other movies that he's really, he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. And he's a respected actor, right? Yeah. He's good at everything he does.
The lady from Deadpool.
Yeah, and Gotham. She's in the Gotham series too, right?
And Gotham. So the actors they're bringing in are going to pull in others.
And which I think is a great casting. She actually looks like the sorceress from the animated series. If you look at her face, she looks like almost like they drew sorceress after her. Really. So I'm stoked to see what it looks like.
And I gotta memorize her name because I struggle with names at the best of times. But even more than that, she was also in Serenity, right? So you're pulling in.
Well, that's right. She was in Serenity.
A whole different kind of. Kind of generation that there's multiple pull-ins here from all over the place when you look at the cast that people are going to like.
If you look at it, if you look at the trailer, solid cast, like you were saying. So they pulled in a lot of different cast, solid cast. The movie looks good. It's like they didn't spare any dime. It looks so good, and it's also looking like they're trying to stay true, except for the whole Earth thing, staying true to the whole spirit of the series, even with that pre-trailer where they were saying in a simpler time, they're making kind of jokes, but they're like, it was like this, it was like this, and this was a hero. They had the old cartoon where it's like, I have the power. And I think Hollywood needs to start maybe getting back to this, and maybe they're doing that in this movie right here.
Mm-hmm.
That not changing the IP to be wildly different or making the character an idiot, blah blah blah. It looks like they're trying to be really solid and make a really solid hero out of He-Man in this movie with a ton of money and a ton of actors around it. Like I think they're being really, really serious about this, and that's what gave me old man hope. Just like Todd, I'll quote Todd. Please be good.
Please good.
Please be good. I wish I had the message on me. I'll show you. He's like, please be good.
I just want to give the actress her due, because Marina Bakarin.
Thank you.
She's done such good work. Like,
and she's fantastic.
That's a name I should know, because I think I've loved everything she's ever been in.
I'm with you 100%. I should know her more. Like, unfortunately, sometimes when they're not the main characters, they just their names fall by the wayside. But yeah, you're right. She deserves big credit.
Yeah,
she was amazing in Deadpool. Even in the second movie, she was in very little, but when she's in there, she's really helping get those emotional ties to the film, right? So, like, she is really. And in Gotham, like, I started losing interest in the Gotham series after the second season, but she was so good in that series too, right? Like, yeah,
she's in a ton of stuff too. Just there's a lot more.
And like you're saying, Steve, like, it looks it looks like they're doing this right. The fact that like you look at Battle Cat Cringer, whatever he is, he looks really good too, right? So those are like little things like that doesn't look bad. So it's not taking out of the storyline. They didn't write him out. Like, in the 80s version, there was no Battle Cat, right? Because how do you do that? So
how do you do that?
Right, you couldn't do that in the 80s, but now, like, they didn't have the real villain. There was no Beast Man. They didn't have the real. They made up villains, right? So, the fact that they're sticking to the core and they're sticking to the thing that people can relate to, and just seeing the sword. Imagine how much backlash would be if the sword looked totally different from what it actually the design is, or if Castle Grayskull looks something totally different and foreign, like. There'd be so much people hating it, like Sonic. When they released the first version of Sonic didn't look anything like he did in the video games, and everybody complained. Right?
Yeah.
So again, I think so far coming out of the gate, they've perked a lot of interest. Like, this is probably the most interest in an MGM movie in years. Like, think about it. Tell me another MGM movie that's been released that had this much hype about it. It hasn't happened since Casino Royale, probably.
Please let it be good.
Right? Please.
Everyone say it with Todd. Please be good.
Please be good. Well, and I sent Steve a meme before we started doing this podcast too. It was like, somebody's going, like, he was going the same thing. Please let it be good, because if this is good, maybe we'll get this. And he showed a picture of Thundercats, right? So
Thundercats.
Right? So again, if you do this well, maybe that opens the door to that, right? So again, if this bombs, there's no way there'll be a Thundercats. It just won't happen, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Because Thundercats is just that much more niche,
right? Exactly.
Right?
It's not.
It's just a touch more.
Yes, it didn't hit like Master Universe did. They didn't have the super big toy line like Master Universe did, but everybody
they had a good run in the cartoon though.
It did, but again, didn't have the big toy backing like it. No. Like, it had toys, but not as big as. Didn't come close.
Not like Masters of the Universe,
right?
But when this trailer came out, basically, I think someone said this. I just brushed all other movies aside. All I'm thinking about is June 5th.
Yep.
That's it. I'm trying to remember what else I was thinking. Like the Godzilla movie. Sure.
When does Odyssey come out?
Oh, the Odyssey. Yeah, I'm pushing everything aside. Everything is June 5th for me, and it's weird. And I hope I don't get my expectations too high, because if it isn't good, it's going to be super disappointing. But it's looking so effing good.
It's a good start. It's piquing people's curiosity. Again, if it bombs. If it's terrible, it might not bomb, but if it's terrible, they need to be good.
I don't see a date. For
We
the
need some more
Odyssey.
trailers. We need some more
Well,
trailers.
I'm okay. I usually after the first teaser trailer comes out, I try not to watch them because then I start piecing things together too much. So
Yeah,
I like when they don't give out
Mhm.
anything. So
yeah, I like to be surprised.
They just need to keep it simple. We don't need to subvert expectations. We don't need people don't need to be. We know the story. It's a kids show, and originally we just need it to be good. So just keep it simple.
just what they showed us now. People are
Yes.
gun ho. I haven't heard anybody complain about it. So the worst thing I heard is please be good. Right. So
Yeah.
We're good. The Odyssey's not until July.
that's
okay.
the Christopher Nolan film, right?
Yeah, I'm jonesing for it though.
Yeah,
I'm a big
we'll
fan.
see. We'll see.
I'm waiting for Christmas. So the Christmas is a Doomsday. I'm pretty psyched about Doomsday myself.
It's got Ryan Hurst in it.
Right.
Ryan who?
Ryan Hurst. He played Opie in Sons of Anarchy. He's been in but just a bunch of stuff. I really like him.
That's cool. That's cool. So, I mean, I will say, everyone who's watching this, including Jeremy, you need to go check out.
I'm checking it out tonight. Guarantee you.
Prime. Everybody check it out. Because, like I said, I think I'm going to do that when I get off. I'm going to go up and finish. I'm halfway or more than halfway. I'm 3/4 through the first season. Like I was telling you, Todd, I was taking my time and watching it. And sometimes I would like to look around. So I'll pause and look at some of the art because I really like the art style. Or
That's fantastic.
I'll pause it and I'll look up stuff. I'm like, this character, I'm like, what? And I kind of do a lot of that, or I do a lot of IMDb when I watch a movie at home alone. So I'm annoying that way, but watch it. You have to watch it.
I know. I believe Hordak's in that series too. I think he comes near the end of this first season. I think, from what I remember. But again, I haven't seen it.
Speaking of Hordak, someone had posted. I should have saved it. They were looking at the IMDb or something where they talk about the full cast, this and that. Well, some of the stuntmen. One of the stuntmen is a Hordak soldier. Robot soldier, and people are like, "Oh, why is this in the He-Man movie? Do you think it's going to tie in at the end?" So they're like, He-Man Part 2. I wonder, if that's going to happen.
Well, again, I'm not surprised. Because Skeletor learned from Hordak, so but it'd be interesting. I was saying, if it's good, we might see a Hordak in the near future too, which I'd be very excited about because Hordak's
She-Ra.
amazing too.
She-Ra, they can tie in She-Ra, right? The whole backstory of She-Ra.
Yeah, they could do that. I'm not there yet, but
the Randors couldn't keep any of their kids on the planet,
right? Just losing them everywhere.
Sorry. So She-Ra was supposed to be He-Man's sister, twin sister.
Yeah, the twin sister. Yeah,
and she was stolen off or something to
by Hordak. Yeah,
Hordak into his dimension, and He-Man never knew of his sister. Blah blah blah.
And he raised her as one. He raised her as one of his own.
Yeah. So, and then she got her own sword, and it was prettier. And anyways. So, final thoughts on this. Excitement for the Masters of the Universe movie.
10 out of 10 for excitement.
Excitement.
I think Jeremy's ranked up the best. How many people are talking about it right now? We're going back to watch it. We're going to watch an animated series that's 20 years old. Where I'm excited about seeing a possible Toyland coming out, possible new Skeletor for me to get. There's a lot of excitement in the air.
Steve was talking about diving into his storage to find his old characters.
Right.
I know. I've been looking for them. I know I have them, and I gotta go into a messy area and look because But
it's amazing. This all came about from 3 guys having a meeting to pitch a toy idea, and they just threw something together on the spot and came up with something. And this is where we are now, right? Just think about that.
Yeah, I'm even.
Well, I was looking for that comic book. I think I have that comic book too, Steven. I was looking for it.
Yeah, I have 1 and 2, and this is 3. So this is relatively new, right? So I like the art. I've been reading it. So yeah, I mean, it's all the nostalgia as I get older, you know, but Todd's so lucky. He's got all the original stuff. I was dumb and sold all mine. But yeah, I know.
Or am I
send
dumb for
hate mail
keeping
to
it?
me at contact. What's that?
Or am I dumb for keeping it? I don't know, but
No.
It's on my shelf. My wife came downstairs. My wife doesn't come down the stairs often to watch on my TV downstairs, but my kids had people over, so they're upstairs. We're downstairs, and I'm just sitting there going, got my whole shelf, all my Skeletor villains on. It's just like, it just makes me happy. Just sitting there looking at it just makes me happy, right? If I look over and I see the original Skeletor next to a new Skeletor, right? It's just pretty.
I'll tell. My wife always says when I do something nerdy, like my Skeletor wall is figures for D&D, painting the figures, printing them, that kind of stuff. I love it. And every time I bring home a new one, she's like, "Another one?" And I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "Well, I guess you could be down at the bar."
Right?
You know,
like at least our wives know we're not cheating on them.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this about Jeremy's collection, right? He's got the D&D minis that he paints. Jeremy is really good at it.
Oh, really?
Like, the colors. I still think of that one little mini you had. I don't know what it was, some kind of wizard, and he had this red. Like, I'm slightly colorblind, and it's just beautiful. He's really good at doing that.
I've just started this, like his beard.
That's great. I wish I could paint it. I would love to do repaints on figures. That'd be so much fun.
But his wife, like we all work in our day jobs, and sometimes Jer, like, I'll go and deliver something up to her office, or she'll come down and she'll be like, "So I hear you're coming over to be a geek with Jeremy this week," stuff like that. Oh, so my wife is the same way. My wife is like, "You're a dork," and blah blah blah, right? So it's just kind of funny. But Jeremy is really good at the painting. He's got a killer setup to his right, probably right where he's sitting. He's got a nice killer setup of paints and an area and everything. But he is not as hard. I mean, he does it well. But I would always be the guy that would show up to the game with the gray figures, and then I started painting them. I'm okay at it, but it's not that hard. It's not as hard as you think. I just wish they were a little bigger, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
as I get older, I need a magnifying glass, and
I have that big magnifying glass with the light on it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people online. They repaint their action figures, and it's just like, oh, that looks so good, so good. I would love to be able to do that.
It's fun. It's relaxing.
All right. Well, guys, I think that's it. I'm probably going to go and watch the trailer a couple more times, and then maybe some He-Man 2002 on Prime.
Well, Steve, you have the
we're
power.
not sponsored, but that's funny. All right, guys. This was fun. Thanks to everyone who is totally watching this right now.
Totally.
We hope to see you guys next time.